The bitter melons, so beautiful and fresh 3 days ago, now must be eaten. Once upon a time, I would have wrinkled my face at the notion of eating these vegetables that elders in my family loved. It's so bitter, I thought as a child. Bitterness was not yet a flavor that I had learned to live with, much less a flavor whose complexity I enjoyed. I take the two melons out of the crisper, where they have been cradled in a paper bag. I rinse them under the tap, catching the cool water in a bowl beneath to water my thirsty balcony container plants. I set them on the cutting board, each about 8 inches long, a pale apple green color, the shape of an ear of corn, and pockmarked with ridges and crevices. Taking my knife, I slice through the center. Last summer, Darshan's camp counselors, as she called us, her close friends helping with aspects of caregiving as she battled stage 4 ovarian cancer, worried to see her rapid weight loss and deteriorating health. Darshan's cancer camp was what she called her virtual caring bridge space, what she named tongue-in-cheek, because we'd all be going through this together, and we might as well try to have some kind of fun. She was losing so much blood that, despite being on what she'd intended to be a strict organic vegetarian diet, she and her caregivers were brainstorming how to get more protein and nutrients into her that involved meat products. Maybe she could sip organic beef broth, one friend thought, but she could not. The broth left a metallic flavor ringing in her mouth. At this stage of the disease, nothing tasted good to her. One afternoon, she said she'd dreamed the night before of bitter melon and the memory of deliciousness. She had grown up eating the Indian variety of bitter melon, but she had dreamt about a dish she'd encountered in Oakland's Chinatown, bitter melon with scrambled eggs, at a Chinese vegetarian restaurant she frequented back when she worked in that neighborhood. One day she saw it on the specials menu. She tried it and loved it. She hadn't eaten much in days now, and you could see it in the deep sag of her sweatpants hanging off her small frame. I jumped at the thought of making something that might be appetizing. Perhaps the dish would awaken her sleeping palate. I'll make this, I thought. She'll eat it, I hoped. For days, I hunted down bitter melon, going to this shop and that farmer's market, reaching out to this cook and that industry friend who knew a local farm growing organic Asian vegetables, the only ones growing organic bitter melon. Thing is, it was nearing the very end of the season, mid to late September, and bitter melon is a summer vegetable, technically a fruit. Like eggplant, it doesn't enjoy cooler temps. Time was of the essence in finding it. Fu gua, that's what you call them in Cantonese. Fu, bitter. Gua, melon. Yingyin always warned us, though, about the power of language. That's how I knew about the alternate term for bitter melon. The word fu in Cantonese means bitter, but the homophone for fu means sadness. Beware the power of speaking words. Some prefer a different term to avoid the bitterness. Let's just have learn gua instead. Cooling melon. Bitter melon has cooling properties to soothe us from heat, both inside our bodies and out, under the traditional Chinese food as medicine system, assigning properties to various foods. I had hoped against reason that making the dish Darshan craved might cool the fire of cancer burning away inside her body and soothe my desire for purpose in a time of heaviness. The ache of anticipatory loss hung in the air, the memory of warmth from the quickly setting sun as the days passed from late summer into the chill of fall. Fu gua, bitter melon. Fu gua, tragic melon. Fu gua, summer is going melon. The search for bitter melon gave me a task to fixate on, though it was becoming clearer every day from her dwindling energy and lucidity that she was not getting better. When I received a text from my friend, a food industry vet who'd been volunteering at the farm for months, it was a shock and surprise. "I have organic bitter melon," he said. I had given up all hope of finding it, yet here it finally was. Perhaps it was not too late for Darshan to taste this fruit of summer, the sweetness mixed with bitter.